Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the September 18th Al-Anon readings, Encouraged to Change, and a little time for myself. We'll begin with a serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. All right, so this is actually my 3rd time recording this video. The first 2 times were a few days ago, and that was because I thought that my September 18th video was going to be my last daily long-form video. But then I realized that I had miscalculated, and actually I will have 1 full year of videos on September 27th, not September 18th. So none of that is really very important, except that when I asked for feedback on like what your thoughts were about my daily videos and what I should do going forward, because I'm just feeling like it's hard for me to keep up daily. I got a couple of responses, and they were both very, very supportive. They were both also very gentle, and basically what I came up with is that I can just make them when I want to make them. There are lots of people who do daily readings online, and I don't need to feel pressure to do this, which it's funny. I never felt pressure to do it until it stopped being like fairly easy for me to do them. Like recently, and I don't know why, I'm having a hard time keeping up with doing them every day. And it's actually been going on like all summer, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with just managing the changes that are going on with my parents. Just, the grief that goes along with that, being really true to myself about how it impacts me. I think I'm right. That makes sense. It's probably not just that. It's everything that comes with that. So, short story long, I'm going to be making daily long-form videos until September 27th, and then I'm going to make them when it feels comfortable and right for me. And I am going to try to continue to make daily short videos. Those are a lot less time consuming for me to make. And it keeps kind of my toe in the water, so to speak, of doing my step 12 work in this way, because it has been so helpful to me. So thank you for your input, and think that's it for now, but that's what to expect. That is what you can expect. Daily long form videos until September 27th. And then after that, whenever I feel like hopping on, I'll hop on. Otherwise, I'm just going to see how it goes. Cool. Cool beans. Whew. I am recording this, by the way, at 8:30 on Sunday morning, September 14th. So I don't usually film this early in the morning, and I slept well, and I'm feeling pretty good. So, but it's interesting how emotional I got, because I think I'm beginning to see what's happening here, and it makes sense. All right. I've already read this passage 3 times, so it's not going to take long. And the question is, how do I identify my responsibilities today? It's interesting because every time I read it, I think about something else. And I just love that about our conference approved literature and about Al-Anon, and I just think it's so amazing. So this passage is was written by a woman who was a stay-at-home mom, and her husband was an alcoholic, and he used to leave her a to-do list every day for when he went to work. But the to-do list was, it was too long. She never got everything done, and she felt bad. But while she was doing her 4th step with her sponsor, she realized that a lot of the things that her husband was asking her to do were not really her responsibilities. And that made her feel much more free and unburdened. Today's reminder: when we focus on our recovery, we can see what we really have control over, and we can make choices for ourselves about our life that work for us. The quote is from Reaching for Personal Freedom. In Al-Anon, we learn to detach with love. So how do I identify my responsibilities today? I do it with a lot of help. It's so funny because I'm remembering the first time I made this video, and I actually showed my to-do list for the day. And today I'm thinking about something completely different. Today I'm thinking about how my higher power guides me. Like, the first thing I thought of this morning when I woke up was, I need to make videos I want to make videos until September 27th. Because originally I'd made them till the 18th, and then I had created a community post saying, sorry, there's like a 9-day gap. But that, that's the way it is. I'm sorry. And I sat with that for a few days, but this morning I woke up and I just felt like I don't feel good about that. I want to make videos through the 27th so that there's a full year. Whether people access it or not, I feel better. And that's how I figure out what my responsibilities are for the day, is I determine what I need to do for me to feel good. And some of it is, not stuff that's like fun per se. but I know that it's good for me. Like I'm going to physical therapy tomorrow, and I wouldn't call it fun, but I would say that I've been going to physical therapy for a few weeks now, and I really think it's helping. And of course, the biggest part of physical therapy is the homework. I learn what to do when I'm at physical therapy, but I do that every day on my own at home. So I don't do it because it's fun. I do it because it helps me and it helps me to feel better overall. So, like, that's my responsibility too. The other thing that I've done recently is I finished my letter to my dad. So I don't know how much I've talked about this. I've talked about it in like sharing at actual Al-Anon meetings. I've talked to my sponsor, I've talked to Al-Anon friends, I've talked to just my regular friends. I've talked to a lot of people about it because it's kind of like always on my mind. It's something that I'm working on. I've talked a lot about it with my partner because it's something that I'm working through. Like I'm actively working through it. And so I rewrote this letter 5 times. I finally it in draft form, and I finally wrote the final draft a couple of nights ago. And I haven't read it in 2 days. Actually, when I'm done with my videos today, I'm gonna look it over and see how I feel about it. But for me, if you if you remember back to sometime in April, my mother's boyfriend passed away, and they hadn't been together for many years. My mom passed away in 2008. They had only been together for 10 years, mostly in the 90s. But he was a very, oh man, oh my gosh. I'm fine, by the way. It's just all this stuff is coming up. It needs to, so I can let it go. Just had some decaf coffee. Now I'm going to have some water. Now I'm going to breathe. Man. I'm not pausing the video because I feel like it's good to be able to express how we feel. I think it allows other people to feel what they are feeling. And I have every reason to believe that my feelings are not unique. So if I feel this way, there are times in your life when you have felt this way or you will feel this way in the future, and it's okay. There's like a huge lump in my throat. Not a real lump. Feeling better. Like I'll be able to speak now. What I realized from the death of my mother's boyfriend is that he made me feel safe. And that was big. And I never got to tell him that. So I wrote him a letter. And I read it to my sponsor. And then I kept it. And that helped me. I know that's hard to believe based on me right now, but this is really love and gratitude. And the acknowledgement of how important it is for every single one of us to feel safe. That's it. That's it. So, what I've noticed over the summer is that not only is my stepmom declining, but so is my dad, because he's trying to cope with the decline. Excuse me, I'm just throwing away my tissue. I'm right here. I'm getting a fresh tissue and I just knocked over my phone. So what I realized is that I owe it to myself to communicate with my dad before he dies. And actually, one of my dear Al-Anon friends gave me that idea. And I'm so grateful because it worked so well for me when I was dealing with my mom's boyfriend's sudden and unexpected death. So, just to communicate my love and gratitude to him. So this is my responsibility. How do I identify my responsibilities today? Believe it or not, I am on topic. So I've been working on this letter. And this letter, this is like when we make amends to people in our program. I even wrote in the letter that I wrote exactly, this communication is helping me cope with the changes that are happening. You don't need to respond. I feel better just expressing these thoughts with you. So I want, whether my dad can hear it or accept it or however he takes it, I need to make sure that I express to him how much I love and appreciate him. And that's what I'm attempting to do with this letter. And I'm doing it to be kind to myself. And that's it. So, man, I think that's all I have to say about that. I am tired now. All right, I'm going to read this. This passage is about one day at a time. It's about living in the present. It's about letting go of the past. It's about progress, not perfection. It is the main passage talks about looking back and seeing how much progress we've made and growth in our lives, how living with the principles works, because the evidence is when we look back over time, we can see that our lives are better. And it helps us to be able to manage challenges because we have our program. And I would say, even though I've been very emotional in this video, I think oddly, even though I may look weak, I think, definitely being that emotional on the internet is it's an act of vulnerability. But at the same time, it's also a sign of strength because I am being authentic and I am saying words that I truly believe are true, like in every fiber of my being. And I think that the application of feeling safe and expressing our love and gratitude to our loved ones, I mean, the application of that on a large scale is absolutely life-changing, world-changing. So I always put hashtags in front of things when I'm being silly. So like in this case, hashtag worth it. All right, today's reminder. We can use our memory to see progress that we've made and to have gratitude for what we have now. We can trust the process of recovery. And the quote is from James M. Barry. And it's saying that memories can be beautiful. That's a really loose translation. And I think the important thing about memories is that, to the best of my ability, it's important to stay in the present, but it's important for me to learn from my memories. It's such a gift to be able to turn negative memories into learning. And again, like, even though I've been really emotional, like, it was because someone made me feel good. And like the realization of how important that feeling is to feel safe. And the importance of, would I have felt better if I had let him know? Probably. But I would still miss him. It's still bittersweet. Life is very bittersweet. But anyway, because part of life is death, and that's a very spiritual thing. Like death from this plane of existence. But like that's where I am. So if people I care about aren't on this plane of existence anymore, then that impacts me and it impacts all of us when we have loved ones that are no longer with us. But in any case, it's time to wrap this up. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.